So we've been down a long road here in terms of stocks have inherent volatility and risk that most people are aware of that. We talked about bonds having gone to pretty much zero yield, so people have looked into money markets, which have gone to zero yield, savings accounts, which not only are close to zero yield, but they have multiple kinds of risk because the dollars that are just sitting there are being inflated away. It's actually like somebody vacuuming the value out of your savings account while your back is turned. Even though the numbers stay the same, the value is going out. And also, if the bank were to fail, the FDIC, as you said, doesn't have enough backing to be able to bail out, to really stand behind it. And then you've talked about insurance being leveraged through these derivatives and the backside of them trying to make their money, facing some of the same low interest challenges that other people have. So let's see, what else is there? Oh, the new kid on the block, Bitcoin. What do you think of that as people see the future?
Oh, well, yeah. Another lesson learned, and I and Carl Denninger and other people were warning people all along about Bitcoin. Think about what this is. This is more zeros and ones on computer servers. And the entire premise of the thing is that every quote-unquote Bitcoin needed to be able to be backtraced, through the holders. I mean, it was a complicated paradigm, but the essence of it was that you had to be able to backtrace each individual Bitcoin, which is nothing more than a 0 or a 1 on a computer server. Guys, it's not real. And now what these poor people have learned is that, to quote the banker on the South Park episode, and it's gone. Yeah, it's all gone. It was basically a big scam to begin with. Don't be pumping your assets into things that aren't real and that could cease to exist on a moment's notice if somebody just turns off a server somewhere. This is insanity. People are looking for this free lunch and this way out of this. And this magic solution to all this. I'm still getting emails from people about the Iraqi dinar and other scams like that. And I just shake my head and like, you guys just don't get it. How are you going to, if there's no rule of law, there's no way to enforce any of this. When somebody comes along and steals all this, as with Bitcoin, it just all went up in smoke, what recourse do you have? You don't have any recourse. You're still thinking as if the rule of law is extant, and it is not. It is not. And Americans just cannot get their heads around this. And so, in terms of Bitcoin and other products like that, it's just more of the same. It's just more of the same. You need to get into commodities that are real. And I am not a metals bug. I never was a metals bug. But it is absolutely undeniable that in times of massive economic upheaval, that metals become an excellent store of value. Okay? Don't be operating in your mind as if you're expecting some sort of a return out of metals. If it so happens that you get some sort of return, that's great. But you cannot approach them that way. You have to approach metals with the thought that all I'm trying to do by holding my assets allocating into metals is I'm just trying to hold my wealth together as much as I can.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to find out for folks is because it seems like everywhere that they turn, there's a game set up that's going to steal the value no matter where they put their funds. And that's what we're looking for is what are the options for people to really protect their family?
Yeah. So you have to look at it mathematically as if just treading water is the best you can do. Think of it that way. And then granted, if it so happens that anything you do does actually generate a positive return, well then praise the Lord. But in your mind, you're thinking to yourself, okay, treading water and holding my wealth together is the best that I can do. Everyone else is having their wealth confiscated in all these various and sundry ways by the oligarchy. So if I'm just treading water and I'm holding myself together and everyone else is losing money, then what that means is relative to everyone else, I am generating the best return. It's like skydivers in an airplane. So you're in this little skydiving airplane, let's say at I don't know, 4,000 feet, and it's puttering along, and it is holding its altitude at 4,000 feet, and a man jumps out of that plane and starts falling down. Okay, you're still in the plane, so you're still at 4,000 feet. You're not going up, but you're not falling either. And the man who just jumped out is falling. So think of it in a relative sense like that. You're holding your ground. The guy who jumped out is plummeting towards the ground at terminal velocity. You're going to be doing a lot better than the guy who jumped out of the plane. And in terms of the contemporary American paradigm, he just jumped out of the plane and oops, he doesn't have a parachute on. So that's not going to end well. At least you're in the plane puttering along at 4,000 feet, holding your level. That's what metals do for you.